Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Fender Bunny, and my channel focuses on the wild adventures that I like to go on, and I bring you guys along with me, and I also do some product reviews. So if that's something that you want to do and keep going on adventures with me, be sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure that you hit that like button after the videos, and don't forget the notification bell so that you'll know when I'm going on those adventures. For today's video, I'm back out in the garage. I'm actually working on the 2014 Sportster again. For those of you that have been following my channel, have seen several videos, you know the history of the bike. For those of you that may be new to the channel, I'm gonna just give you a brief history on this bike. This was my son's bike a couple years ago. He was actually hit by a motorist. He's fine, but unfortunately it did total the bike. And so the last couple years we've been doing lots of different modifications and we've been altering it. We kind of turned it into an old school chopper. And today my project is going to be, I am actually going to be installing this dual track horn that MotoHorn sent me. And from all of the reviews and everything that I've read about him, if he could have had this on his bike instead of the stock horn and been able to use this one, I'm sure that, you know, the motorist would have been able to hear him and there might not have been a wreck. So let's go ahead and get busy. I'm gonna go set this back down. Okay, let's go get into some work clothes. Okay, work clothes are on, but before I get too carried away with our project, I do want to go ahead and turn the bike on so that you can hear what the current horn sounds like before we go ahead and take it off and put the new one on. So let's go ahead and turn the bike on, and I'm going to walk around so I can push the button. Mind you, we are going to be in the garage, so it's going to be just a little louder since we're in the garage. That's what the current horn sounds like. Another thing I want to point out before I go ahead and continue on, this is the current horn. We did take it apart so that we could know what kind of parts we might need and to make sure we had everything that we had to have at the garage to install. We're fortunate that this is the stock bracket that we're able to use it. We just had to turn it around so that it would fit for the new horn. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that right there. The next step of this little project that we're going to need to do today is I'm going to need to go inside and make the wiring harness. I have all of the parts inside and I'm ready to go ahead and get started. I do want to show you what the horns look like, so let's go ahead and open the box. There's the first one and then there's the second one. Another thing I want to mention before I get started too, in the instructions, there are two different methods that you can go ahead and install this horn on. You could possibly use the existing wiring harness on your bike if it meets a certain gauge of wiring, or you can make your own wiring harness, which is what we chose to do because in looking at the current wiring on our Sportster, the wiring looked a little small, so we weren't sure if it was going to be right or not, and we wanted to ensure that when we installed it, we did it right. So we went ahead and went to an auto parts store and we bought all of the materials that we needed to for the harness. And as you'll know, just like anything, you can't just always buy exactly what you need. In a set, I may only need 2, but I had to buy 10. But with that said, we spent about $75 for everything. We're gonna have plenty of extra parts. And then we bought an additional wire loom also, just so that we can make sure to keep all of our wires safe after we were done with it. The first step that we need to go ahead and do is go ahead and cut the wire. In doing that, I've already pre-measured the existing wire. So we took a string and we put it where we were gonna mount it, and then we snaked it through under the tank to the battery so we know exactly how long our wire needs to be. So let's go ahead and get the wire cut so that I can solder on some terminals and make this harness. Let's get ready. Wire is cut. I have my wire cut, so I'm going to go ahead and measure out this loom so that I can get it cut to the length that I need it for. Put that tape. Go and stretch it out. Okay, one of these scissors. Thought I could just cheat and that didn't work, so we'll use the scissors. I got my solder iron hot, I got my solder here. I'm just gonna go ahead and start soldering those ends onto the connectors so that I can be ready to keep installing the horn. Such fiddly stuff. So I noticed I had a little oopsie. I actually soldered one too many connectors onto the horn, so I did have to cut one of them off, and I added a splice to it, which is actually going to be my ground back to the battery, and I marked it with my green tape so that I couldn't get confused later on. But easy fix, I'm glad I caught it, and now I'm ready to move on. I only had a couple more wires that I needed to cut so that I could get the rest of those connectors on, and once I get them finished and the connectors put on them, then I'm gonna be ready to go ahead and put the loom on it, and then I can go back out into the garage and assemble everything out onto the bike. I do wanna finish it out there with the wiring because I cut the wires just a little bit extra long just so that I knew that for whatever reason I did accidentally cut them too short and then I'd have a different kind of a problem later on. So, oops. Okay, there we go. Last wire end is cut, so I'm just ready to finish these up and putting the connectors on them. I'm just now installing the wire loom. When I get it finished, I'm gonna be able to take everything back out to the garage so that I can go ahead and install the horn onto the bike, be able to run the wires back up to the battery, be able to put those connectors on, be able to connect those connectors to the battery, and then from there, my project should be complete so I can test out how well the horn sounds on the bike. This is my wiring harness, so now I just need to go ahead and get down and install it onto the bike, and then I'll be able to run the harness back to the battery and finish the connectors and then finish the installation. Okay, I have the harness ran and I've just finished connecting the battery back up, so everything is installed. I do need to go ahead and close this door real quick. Make sure that I don't pinch any of these wires though. Okay, all that's left is I need to go ahead and put on the seat and then we can try out the new horn. This is the part that I definitely need to be really careful on because I don't want to scratch the paint. And it's such a tight little fit. Okay, there's my hand right here. Okay, let's go ahead and get the screw back on it so it'll stay on. One more step done. All I need to do is go ahead and turn it on and we're ready to try out the new horn to see how loud it is. I want to remind everybody, I am in the garage, so of course this horn's going to sound a whole lot louder in this enclosed area, but let's go ahead and try out the new horn. Okay, that is definitely way louder than I expected. It is nowhere near like our little stock one that I had on. It was more like a beep beep, and this is, let's hear it again. Someone is definitely going to be hearing you if you need to use this on your bike. If you are in the market for a new horn, definitely go check out motohorn.com. I can't thank them enough for this opportunity to put their horn on our bike and to definitely be heard while we're out on the road. All of the information about this particular horn that we installed on this is going to be in the description of this video. And I guarantee you guys, if I, a little girly girl, can definitely install this, I know that you can. So by all means, check them out. And like I said before, I want to definitely thank them for giving us the opportunity to do this. And as always, until next time, stay safe and have fun.